your next comic coming on stage. He's hilarious. He headlined here Thursday night, coming all the way from Chattanooga, Tennessee. You guys are going to love him, man. Start clapping right now. We start clapping right now for the very funny Chef Greenspan!
Let's hear it for your host. Let's hear it for So High. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's hear it for yourselves for supporting live comedy in Bloomington. Let's hear it. I've been here for a few days. You guys have been fucking amazing. I'm so excited to be here again with you guys tonight. I'm excited. All right, we got a nice looking crowd. Let's get Saturday night. Who wants to get intimate? Let's get intimate, all right? Let's get this room connected, all right? Everybody find the person to your left. And, whether you know them or not, it's a silent exercise. It's cool. Whether you know them or not, just give them a rub on the knee. Give them a nice rub on the knee. It's not gay on a Saturday night. It's fun in a comedy. This guy's alone. Rub his knee. Rub my knee. Bum rush the stage. No, don't. I think I fucked up already. I did shit. I wasn't supposed to start with that. All right, let's rewind. Everybody find the person to your left and ask for consent. You really should be asking for consent. It's 2025! So I'm originally from New York City. I've been living in All right, thank you very much. I had very little to do with it. My parents fucked it. That was it. But I've been living in Chattanooga for about 5 years. Very musical city, Chattanooga. I met somebody there who plays the harp. And I was like, oh, what kind of gigs do you get as a harp player? And he said, well, it's a lot of weddings. And a lot of hospice. I know. What a calendar this guy must have. 1 minute you're performing for people where their hopes and dreams are coming true, and then you have to do a wedding? Can we agree a harp is a terrible instrument for hospice? If you come to in a moment of lucidity, in the middle of your dementia, and you see somebody playing the harp, you think you've crossed over? If you're clinging on to life with your arthritic hands, you need an instrument that's going to make you make a choice. Bagpipes. We need hospice bagpipes. If you're in hospice and you wake up and see bagpipes playing, you're either going to gather all your energy and get out, or you're going to get back in bed and get out. One of the two. Your host was... the host asked how many people here were in therapy, and not enough applause. There was not... I've been in therapy. My last therapist, she told me I should get a therapy dog. And I did for a little while. It was a lot like therapy. He played fetch with me for 45 minutes and called it an hour. It was a lot like the real thing. But I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood because, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, perfect timing. I dumped all my Tesla stock. Yeah, thank you. And I put all my money into Iron Lungs. So I'm very excited for their future polio cases of America that RFK is bringing back. It's going to be cool. How many? We got young people here? Young people. An iron lung was an iron tube that people with polio had to live in for their entire lives to regulate their breathing. An iron tube. I think we could get these iron lungs to come back if we modify them. So they have little iron tubes for your hands to hold your phone above your head. So you could scroll YouTube for eternity. That's what they should call the new iron lungs, YouTubes. That's what they should call them. Why watch YouTube when you could live in the YouTube? I'm gonna be rich. Oh man. I recently hit the age where I'm now keeping my Molly in my pill organizer. Wednesday. Thursday. Friday makes my hands feel nice. Feel my hands, Yeah, recently turned 54 years old. Thank you very much. Yes, you can applaud 54. It's fine. Okay. Some people think I have younger looking skin. I'll share with you guys a skin tip. I've been doing this for years. Every morning, very first thing I do the minute I get out of bed is I don't have kids. Very first thing. Gotta do it every day. It's a regimen. I actually come from a time when you could hit your kids. Actually, I come from a time when you could hit other people's kids. It was open season on children in the 1970s and 80s. Too much excitement. My dad used to hit me with a belt. And later on in his life, he was on his deathbed, and I flew down to Florida to say goodbye to him. He apologized for everything. Of course, I forgave the man. I wound up thanking him, and he thanked me. And we had this really tender moment of closure. And then he lived. He made a complete recovery. You ever leave your office with a coworker and you say goodbye to each other? And then you realize you're both walking the same way in the parking lot? And you got nothing to say to each other anymore? That became me and my dad every day of our lives. Like I said, I grew up in New York City, and I remember on long car trips, I would sit in the back seat of the car, and I would take my socks and shoes off, and I'd wrap my socks up in a ball, and I'd shove them in my mouth. And I'd put my hands behind my back, like this, right? And I'd bang my head against the passenger window in the back seat, hoping other drivers on the highway would see this and pull us over. Take me away from this family. Between the ages of 9 and 12, I did this all across the Long Island Expressway. And we got pulled over 0 times. 0 times. We were like a rolling Amber Alert that everyone just chose to ignore. And 10-year-old Jeff, I thought I was being so smart, but now that I'm an adult, I realize every driver on that highway was like, that kid looks like a lot. Like I said, 54, different time when I was growing up. I'm not proud to admit this. When I was around 14, I was starting to date, and my parents said, Jeff, now that you're dating, we expect you to bring home somebody like the family. I was like the family? You mean emotionally distant? What do you mean like the family? And they said, no, Jeff, we just wouldn't expect you to bring home a black girl. I know, different time. But I do what they said. I never brought home a black girl. But I brought home a lot of black guys. And, and you know what? After that, my parents would have been thrilled if I brought home a black girl. Somehow my dick sucking made them more progressive when it comes to race. You know how they say black don't crack? Because black people have this wonderful attribute of being able to retain their youthful looks. Some people think I'm younger than 54, and they're like, do you have any black in you? I'm like, I've had. I've earned these rosy cheeks, right? Up here, these cheeks, cool. Actually, I'm bisexual. I like men and boys. I'm on the spectrum sexually. Not little boys. Frat boys. I'm talking about frat boys, all right? It's weird to me that fraternities are so, like, historically homophobic, because I feel like gays, we were the first fraternity. A group of men bound together by a secret. I met a frat boy in Chattanooga recently, and he said to me, "It's a real shame that you gay guys can't kiss when you have sex." I was like, is that a new executive order? What happened? He's like, nah, bro, because you guys do it from behind. I said, we can do it missionary style. He was shocked. I said, haven't you seen gay porn? He's like, no, dude, I don't watch gay porn, bro. I'm like, okay. but by accident. You've never seen gay porn by accident? It's like, nah, dude, not even by accident. That's some bullshit. I'm always looking for gay porn, and I get straight porn by accident. I don't freak out. I dabble. I just understand if I order enough French fries, eventually I'm gonna get an onion ring in there once in a while, you know? By the way, straight people, what the hell is going on with your porn? Why y'all related to each other? Why are so many of you ladies getting stuck in washing machines? Are none of you having normal prison sex like the stuff I'm watching? What's going on with y'all? But like I said, I grew up during a different time, so, you know, I have a lot of internalized homophobia. Wow, she's really in for the internalized homophobia. I'll externalize it for you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's terrible. Like if I'm on like Tinder and I see a guy with like a gay pride flag in his hat, like in his photo in his room, I swipe left no. But really, any flag inside your house, I'm gonna swipe left no. Like an American flag outside the house, totally cool. You bring that shit inside the house, that's a level of patriotism that scares me. I don't want to be saying the Pledge of Allegiance in your bedroom, you know? It would be disrespectful. I'd be at half-mast. It would be wrong, I feel like. I'm a patriot. Yeah, there's a lot of homophobia out there, especially in the South. I've met some people in the South who feel that gay people shouldn't be allowed to have kids or adopt. And there was a study done in my hometown in New York City. And it turned out it didn't matter if the parents are two men or two women or a man and a woman. As long as the child was raised by a loving Jamaican nanny, everything was fine. Everything was fine. The gay won't rub off with the 10 minutes a day you spend with your kid. It's gonna be fine. Other people hate gay people so much they want to kill us all. And I never understood that if you want to get rid of all the gays, you don't have to kill all the gays. Just kill the bottoms. So we can't make more gays. Where do you think these gays are coming from? Use your straight brains, come on. I like living in Chattanooga. I've been traveling around to other cities that are like Chattanooga around the country. Here's one of the weird things about Chattanooga and a lot of other cities like it. You can walk around the town and you can kind of pretend like you live in a simulation. It's very Truman Showy. Like there's this building downtown in Chattanooga with a dome on it. It's called the Dome Building. And right near where I live, there's a girls' preparatory school. It's called Girls' Preparatory School. But the City Courts Building is called City Courts Building. It's like Chattanooga is still rendering, you know? But then again, maybe everyone in Chattanooga was really smart. Maybe they're like, you know what? Let's not name shit till we see how history plays out. No one's gonna come to town and tear down public library. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be all right. It's more religious in Chattanooga and in the South than I realized before I moved there. Like there's a coffee shop near my house, and outside it says, a whole lot of coffee, a little bit of Jesus. How did Jesus get wrapped up with coffee? I've read the Bible. He was never caffeinated the whole time. Coffee's not even his beverage. Like it would make more sense if it were a wine shop. That was formerly a water shop. That would make more sense. Doesn't matter how hot or cold it is in Chattanooga, right near where I live, there are these folks who stand outside and they're giving out free Bibles and free Bible workshops. And that's tough for me to see just out on the street, because I'm a Jew. But they're free. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. Basically, I'm so Jewish, I became Christian last weekend. That's what I'm getting at. People ask me if it's hard being a Jew in Chattanooga. You know, not as hard as it was in Egypt, but tough, you know. What's it like being a Jew in Chattanooga? At Walgreens, they sell menorahs in the Halloween section. I shit you not, next to a skeleton. It's little Auschwitz in L5. That's all I'm getting at. A lot of people don't know anything about Jews in Chattanooga. I've met a whole bunch of people who've never heard of matzah. Do we know what matzah is in Bloomington? Do you? Because that's too much excitement for matzah, if you know what it is. Matzah, if you don't know, is this terrible, tasteless cracker that Jews eat during Passover to remind us that when the Jews were cast out of Egypt, we had to flee so fast, we couldn't even wait for the bread to rise. Come on. I'm sure there were plenty of other baked goods that weren't done yet. Why can't we be celebrating with cookie dough? Why can't we have nice things? I went to a Portuguese restaurant in Chattanooga. No, I went to the Portuguese restaurant in Chattanooga. It's called the Portuguese restaurant in Chattanooga. And they had something called Portuguese creme brulee. Who likes creme brulee in this room? Let me hear some applause. Equal to the matzah. That's strange. Okay. My favorite part of creme brulee is the tap-tap on the top.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This Portuguese creme brulee, no tap-tap. They threw sugar on top of custard, and they said it was Portuguese creme brulee. And I was like, ugh. But then I did some research, and it turns out in the 1400s, the Jews were cast out of Portugal. And maybe they had to flee so fast they couldn't wait for the creme brulee to set. Maybe. Anti-Semitism on the rise, it's troubling. Remember not too long ago, Adidas had to cut ties with Kanye West because of all the anti-Semitic remarks. People were outraged by the anti-Semitism. And you know, as a Jew, snaps to Adidas for cutting ties with Kanye. But Adidas hasn't cut ties with any of the children in the sweatshops who make the sneakers. They still have a collab going. It's terrible. It makes me want to go to Bangladesh and go to these sweatshops and teach these kids how to talk some shit about the Jews. Then Adidas would be like, we would love these kids to make our sneakers, but they're raging anti-Semites. Wouldn't that be wild if anti-Semitism ended child slavery? What a confusing win for our side, right? Here's something cool about the South. If you go to the South, you gotta check one of these out. I love a Southern pawn shop. A lot of guns. And podcasting equipment. I feel it's dangerous to be able to walk out with either one without a background check. I think that's wrong. They're giving men microphones in this country. No, I'm just kidding. Apparently the only thing that will get a Southerner to part with their gun is a same-day loan. That's the, I don't... You'll get this gun when you pry it from my cold, dead hands. Or let me buy it back for the same price plus fees and interest. A lot of people down there think the liberals are going to take away their guns. And I try to tell them, I go, I come from the liberals. They're not going to take away your guns. They're too busy. They're taking away your straws. A lot of fish and turtles were getting hurt by the straws because they were eating the plastic straws. Maybe don't make these straws so fucking delicious, you know? Make straws out of cilantro, that's what I say. You know? It tastes like soap. So we're keeping the guns, we're getting rid of the straws. Oh, and peanuts. We can't have peanuts anywhere near a school. Some children in the schools were getting hurt by the peanuts. Here's what you're going to see eventually, I think. You'll see boxes of bullets where on the side it says, warning, these bullets were manufactured in a facility that also processes peanuts. Well, we've been hanging out for a little while. I gotta go, but I really should be asking, how do we feel about Luigi Mangione in this room? All right, okay, this guy's unsure. All right, get him! No, I'm just kidding. I know, he's hot. But aesthetics aside, whatever, however you feel about him, we gotta, I hope we can all agree, we gotta stop calling this guy a hero.
I went to high school with him.
Okay. But you shouldn't call him a hero. He's an alleged hero. Right? Last time I checked, this was America. And in America, you are innocent until proven a hero. All right? People are like, what good did it do that he killed the CEO of the health insurance company? Here's the good it did, I think. It sped up, maybe by a couple of seconds, the inevitable class war that we're all going to get to be a part of soon. Who's excited for class warfare in this room? Even with the matzah. All right, cool. I'm excited for class warfare, but I will not fight in it because I'm gay. You guys didn't want me in your military. If you can't handle me or your army, you don't deserve me or your militia, bitch, all right? I gotta get out of here, but before I go, after the show, by the way, one more round of applause for the Comedy Attic and for yourselves. If you want to come and say hello as you walk out, I do have these shirts for sale where it's the box of bullets with the warning label for the peanuts on them. If you want to grab one, they're $20. And I will say this, I'm so glad you all came out to a comedy show because I think comedy helps you see that we have more in common with each other than we don't. Right, guys? Do you guys agree? Yes, yes? Don't let these politicians divide us. They want us to hear Mexicans. They were trying to tell you that Mexicans are going to take your jobs. Mexicans are not going to take your jobs. Robots are going to take your jobs. And I promise you, once the robots have all the jobs, Mexican robots are going to take their jobs. I'm Jeff Greenspan. Thank you very much for having me. Give it up for your host, Sohan!
Guys, give it up one more time for Jeff Greenspan. Let him hear ya! Before we bring up your headliner, guys, how about a round of applause for our lovely kitchen and wait staff? Give it up for your wait staff one time, guys. They're working super hard for us. Please be sure to tip them well. And with that being said, are you guys ready for your headliner? Oh, come on, we can do better than that. Are you ready for your headliner? Put your hands in right now for the one and only Naomi Caravani.